Sports Illustrated doesn't discriminate. They're being true to everybody.
Bring it on!
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle.
I'm Darian Boyle.
And I'm Jennifer Brenius.
Collectively, we're two sister-in-laws with our bestie.
We don't just talk, we do it. Day, night, mountain, beach, and city.
Get ready as we bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and we're all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on each week, diving deep into authentic, unscripted conversations
On just about everything. So,
Let's get gritty.
Bring it on! Bring it on! Don't wait until tomorrow!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty, sitting here at Bring It On Studios with Jennifer and Farley after an incredible Memorial Day weekend. One of my favorite weekends because it's the kickoff to summer. So, ladies, how was your weekend of the red, white, and blue?
I just love Memorial Day weekend. It's always fun. And it's about getting everybody back onto the same page. People are gearing up from graduations to proms. It's such an exciting time of year. I love it.
I like anything that allows you to be patriotic. Red, white, and blue are my favorite colors. And they work beautifully on Memorial Day weekend. And we do bike crawls where we go from bar to bar. We'll do barbecues at the beach club. We're taking some live music. Anything goes. That's what's so awesome. Your interpretation of Memorial Day weekend is exactly what you want it to be. And you want to share it with people that you enjoy and have fun with and love. And that's exactly what we did.
Just getting in the ocean, rain or shine, is just my favorite thing to do. And just seeing everybody with the biggest smile on their face. And it's a reunion of people you haven't seen since Labor Day. Streets are crowded, which is annoying. The beach came alive this weekend. So.
Sure did. So did the bar scene.
Oh. That's how you know it's summer.
Yeah, people wearing bikinis and hot shorts.
Darian, and what do we have this week for our top 3 coming off of Memorial Day weekend?
First is Swiftie is no longer your bestie, Blakey. I mean, come on, Taylor.
I can't blame her for not wanting to get involved in that debacle. That's like the story that never ends between Maroney and Blake Lively. It's just stupid.
Well, I think that she got called up onto the witness stand after getting thrown into the ring of fire unwillingly and did not want to become a spectacle and to be a part of this crazy circus. I would also be a little annoyed and might say, I'm going to casually put our friendship on hold for a bit until you respect me again.
Coming in at number 2, stupid Starbucks uniform strike. Really? I'm so sick of all the strikes. WTF.
Barista divas, whoa. I mean, really, from what I understand, Starbucks gives their employees a lot of perks. And if they want to tighten up what they're wearing, it's your job.
You don't have a say if your employer is telling you what your uniform is, unless you're exploiting yourself and you don't feel comfortable because you're working at Hooters. Working at Starbucks as a barista, wear what you're told and stop childish behavior. I'm going to hold my breath until I get my way.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 1. You don't want to believe it. Justin Bieber sells its music catalog for $200 million. I mean, that sounds like a steal to me. What do you think, ladies?
I feel terrible. I guess he didn't have somebody helping him financially because he should have money coming out of every orifice.
I think when you make it, easy come, easy go. I think he was like spending $100,000 a day is something that I read in an article, and his footprint is just massive. And when you get used to living that way, you get into debt. And obviously we know this guy is struggling because he's on every headline that you see. He looks like he's devastated. And he probably didn't want to go back out on tour again because tour is toxic and he could make a boatload of money. But it must have been an easier situation to sell his catalog for not a lot of money.
No, he was like a viral sensation that was picked up.
That was JT, not JB.
And sadly, Justin Bieber, if you're Googling him right now, he's also involved in the P. Diddy situation. So who knows the deep scars that he has? I feel terrible for him.
He's messed up. He's a new father. He's trying to retreat from the public eye. He's got no rights to his own catalog. It's hard when an artist walks away from that and leaves it on the table.
Terrible. So sad.
So our topic today, we're talking about the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit model. And it's not just about showing off your body in a bathing suit. Now they've changed that it's about the empowerment of women in bathing suits. It used to be on who's going to be the swimsuit models this year. It has to be the top job that you could have as a model to make it to the cover. Now it's changed, I think, over the last 3 or 4 years. It's so inclusive. They're celebrating women from around the world now, and it's all about empowering women. It's not just the supermodel who's super tall and skinny. It's about everyone. So that's what we're going to talk about today. You ready, ladies, to get feeling groovy in our bikinis?
There was something I liked about it being the supermodel thing. Maybe it's because I was in that business, and unfortunately I got to be behind the scenes and I got to try on a lot of things that we're going to shoot for Heidi Klum, and I was a fit model for Victoria's Secrets. And so it was a lot of swimwear, a lot of lingerie, but Elle McPherson, Heidi Klum, they were all gracing the inside and the covers of Sports Illustrated. But what I will say is that made their career. And, you know, it was Victoria's Secrets was a close second, but Sports Illustrated, if you were lucky enough to grace the pages of Sports Illustrated or even get a cover, that was automatic fame. And it was a very coveted position. It was in the winter of 1964 when they were trying to fill the pages because so many sports had just come to a close and they were lacking for material. And that's where the evolution of the swimwear issue originated. And it was editor Andre Laguerre. I don't even know how to say his last Laguerre. It was his idea. It was his brainchild. And the first cover girl was Babette March. And Babette rocked it into fame. And it has gone on from there. It became a thing in 1964.
Back in that time period, we didn't have the volume of mediums, right? So being on a magazine cover was the top dog
Top of the food chain.
of the food chain. And now, because of what we have on our digital platforms, the magazines are going away. So the fact that they've changed Sports Illustrated over the years to try and stay relevant, to keep magazines in circulation is critically important because it's a snapshot of time, right? That my kids, I'm sure they have Sports Illustrated swimsuit in the house and they hide it. But we save important magazines. We save.
You hide that. It's not Playboy.
No, I'm saying from one another because they don't want anybody stealing. No, because they'll be stolen.
Oh, because it makes it to the restroom.
So they've been going in business for 6 decades. And over the years, I mean, it has changed so much. You have Elle McPherson, who set the record for most covers with 5. Christy Brinkley, who's one of my favorite models, the first to appear in 3 consecutive covers. I remember getting it because we had Sports Illustrated, and all of a sudden that would show up and you fish through and you look at the bathing suits and you look at the outfits, you look at the models, and you'd almost aspire to be that. Like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Christy Brinkley was my idol. Loved
I think
her.
she still is. She's still hot.
They had to evolve with the times. I get it. However, the best-selling issue was in 1989 with Kathy Ireland featured on the cover. And I remember thinking, man, what do you have to do to get there? It was the pinnacle of the modeling industry. And I was just dipping my toe into it. So I was fascinated by the automatic status that you would achieve if you were lucky enough to grace the covers.
You got the high fashion. So I was polar opposite, modeling all this sports stuff. I was modeling competitive sportswear, surf
Well,
bathing suits.
you would actually make it now.
But I would need a rack.
Yeah, but you don't need a rack.
The
What
high
I
fashion.
recognized to be the trend of this current issue, and I thought this was pretty fascinating. They have 38 people within. 19 of them are decorated athletes. 19. Flat, big, athletic, whatever. It doesn't matter. 11 true models. Only 11. They're becoming a little bit more of the minority. 3 influencers. Like Alex Earle is not a model, but she is now. But she started out as a content influencer, and she got the first digital copy or cover of Sports Illustrated, making a digital mark for history.
This past year? This
Yeah,
was the first
last
time
year.
this year? Last year.
On the cover this year is Salma Hayek. She's 58 years old.
They were doing a piece on TV and I was watching, and she said when she was growing up, she always admired and she flipped the pages and she couldn't wait all year for the swimsuit issue to come out. And all of a sudden, here she is, 58 years old, doing Sports Illustrated. Her body is slamming. She had basically nothing on, but every single bathing suit looked perfect. She's so gorgeous. It's great not being 18 years old and hoping to make the cover. they're doing all these iconic people, and that is amazing.
I think to your point earlier, Farley, they've seen that they have to evolve with the times. And let's be honest, what's happened in women's sports has transcended. We've talked about that numerous
And the
times
Olympics
on our
are coming
episode.
down the pike.
And I also think that they recognize that there's more to most human beings than just the superficial, in no deference to the models and beauty. Beauty is in so many different vessels of human beings, and that there are beautiful people across many different lines. And they're also trying to appeal. Let's not be silly about this or stupid about this, that they understand that they want to hit every demographic possible to get as many people to
Readership,
read
viewership.
and view and watch. And if I have a vested interest that there's a 58-year-old person on the cover, now I just opened up my marketing.
In 2022, they had their first amputee. She was a Paralympian. She was beautiful, and you just saw her owning it so strong.
In 2019, the issue leaned towards diversity and inclusivity, and it featured different body types, ageism, and really concentrated on like the Me Too movement and body image. In 2020, first transgender Valentina Sampaio was featured. In 2021, the first trans girl cover, Lena Bloom. They always have multiple covers that cater towards different demographics that get shipped in different directions. In 2022, the first plus size Asian cover, and that was Yumi Nu. And then in May of 2022, Mae Musk, who was the oldest cover girl at 74 years old, got a cover. So it's
Martha Stewart, at 81, became the oldest woman to grace the cover of the publication.
oh my God, I remember saying that. Yeah,
And now she's 83.
she looked damn good too.
Halima Aden is the first swimsuit model to wear a hijab and a
Oh, hijab.
bikini.
Oh, like a
They brought
like
in
a,
every
the
single
veil
covering.
covering.
When you saw her, she's gorgeous, and she's covering her head up with black fabric all the way around her head.
Sports Illustrated doesn't discriminate. They're being true to everybody. 2021 was the first female Black athlete to get the cover and the inside pictorial. And I've got so many stats on it because I was reading and I was more and more impressed with each person.
What I want to know from you guys is, well, first of all, we know that the female body is obviously beautiful, and women love to see other women, and obviously men love to see other women. Why do you think that the men's issue has not gotten traction? We talk about the Sports Illustrated swimsuit being all inclusive. Where are the men, guys?
Well, I liked when Sports Illustrated would do a professional athlete and their wife. They had that issue. I can't recall exactly when it was, but I look forward to that because A, I'm intrigued to see who the pros are married to. And B, typically whoever is married to the pro athlete is definitely capable of being their own person standing next to him. A lot of times what they did is they concentrated on an athletic specimen that was married to an athletic specimen.
Of course.
So
Or she got in shape, or he got in shape to be on the cover. I mean, let's be honest.
You have professional soccer players like Alex Morgan.
rocking.
She was there on the cover.
And they were coming together to say, hey, look at our bodies and give us respect and look how strong we are. I mean, you looked at how jacked they were, and I'm like,
But wait, you haven't answered my question. Why are there no men? Why is there not a male?
Guys, the magazine was created for men. Truly. Okay. So the evolution of this magazine, maybe now it's trying to attract more women readership, but it was created for a male enthusiast.
Okay.
And so
Men like
putting-
men.
they don't want to see men. Men don't,
I
men
listen,
don't appreciate their own men don't appreciate their own landscape like women do. Women can look at women, and it doesn't make us a lesbian or having lesbian tendencies to be okay with admiring a body and saying she's gorgeous. It's very hard for a man to say that guy is incredibly handsome or has a really nice physique.
Well,
I mean,
exactly my point.
if you're, I know, but if you're straight, I'm just saying, like, if for whatever reason, it's not their comfort zone to go look at a magazine that's loaded with pictures and pictorials of men, in bathing suits, whether it's board shorts or nut huggers. I don't see my husband ever picking up an issue of Sports Illustrated that's going to be jam-packed with 38 men showing off their asset.
women admire women. They admire their bodies. Look at the bathing suits. And
It's like they're appreciated by both sexes.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, if we want equality, if we're always looking for equality and we're
With your
looking
sons,
it's
I'm
not
asking
about
you,
that. It's not about that. I'd like
But
to.
I'm making it about that. You have a masculine dominated family. Would that type of an issue do well in your home?
No.
Okay. You answered the question.
But no, I didn't answer that's not what it's a point. That's not what the point is. I'm saying if we're going inclusive, if we're going to have transgenders on the cover, if we're going to have lesbians on the cover, if we're going to have amputees on the cover, if we're going to have Black, white, Asian, like pick,
they're all females.
Pick everything. It's all female based, and yet, in my opinion, we want equality for the sexes. We always have. We always want it to be equal. What I'm saying is, I think it's interesting. Do I think there's a market for it? Is that market my house? No. All I'm saying is that sometimes I think women forget that we appreciate female bodies. Men appreciate female bodies. Correct?
I never forget
that's
it.
true. And I'm not demonizing Sports Illustrated. I'm saying that I think it's interesting that we don't see the fact that we ogle, glorify women in bathing suits, and yet having a male issue with men respectfully done and tastefully done and artistically done and professionally done is like, well, nobody would look at that. And I don't think that's the truth.
I just think if they do it in a different form. I think we go by calendars that have firefighters that are adorning not a whole lot of gear. And that is appealing. I think that it's like women going to see men take it all off, like Chippendales, whatever. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah.
But are you going to get like not the gay population of men, but are men going to a Chippendale show? I feel like a Chippendales show is Sports Illustrated with men in.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with that at all. What I'm saying is that I'm surprised in this age of inclusion and in this opportunity of having a market for everyone that there's not a male Sports Illustrated issue.
Yeah. The magazine is always featuring male athletic specimens, people that are doing great things. And the men like to read about Christian McCaffrey and Tom Brady and whoever is the it person in sports.
Yep.
Could be Tiger Woods when he was crushing it. The men will engage in a magazine that's filled with men in that respect, but they're not going to feel comfortable.
Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Model Edition, where they highlight their bodies in these beautiful bikinis.
And they make you want and yearn to have their body or to be where they are. And that's what we're talking about, ladies. That's what we talked about. Right now, we have to go to our Got Grit winner of the week because we're running out of time.
Oh my gosh. Well, our Got Grit winner of the week just happens to be an athlete who, through his opportunity to travel and be in a place, is somebody who could have been all about himself and could have made things very uncomfortable for somebody who needed a little help. But this amazing athlete chose not to. I'd like to say our Got Grit winner of the week is NFL rookie Travis Hunter. He was on a flight and was so humble and cordial and kind to his seatmate, helped her in so many ways. And this woman didn't even have any idea who he was.
He was an ordinary person to her, and he was kind, and he was not only polite, he was a real human being. He wasn't caught up in the fact that he was number 2 in the 2025 NFL draft choice. He's the number 2 pick. And after he tried to help her with her tray and did all these kind, normal gestures,
Yep.
people were fist pumping him and high-fiving him as they walked down the aisle. And she was like, who am I sitting next to?
It's amazing because what we want to impart to you is that you don't have to be the top person on your game all the time to be a Got Grit winner. You can be somebody who is a simple, kind, paying it forward type human who, through social media and through efforts in the NFL, now everybody recognizes you. But he did things that we hope everybody does for their fellow human.
He didn't let his star quality go to his head.
He had a huge smile on his face. He was humble, super polite, and he said, yes, ma'am.
Could just share that to more people and have doors open and always help out that nice person who needs a helping hand. And it doesn't take much. People steamroll you to get a subway. They steamroll like old people. You're like, come on, or injured. I had crutches and people would steamroll me to get a cab. Yeah. Little did they know I was going to get the cab.
Of course you were.
When you give Darian crutches, they are actually weapons, cup holders. They have a lot of different functions. And Far, what do we have as far as music this week?
So my song choice of the day can be interpreted in different ways as usual. initially it was a song that meant a lot to me in my college days with a boyfriend. And now I'm looking at it and it means a lot to me with regards to family and memories. So I'm going to read the first two lyrics. Looking so long at these pictures of you, but I never hold on to your heart. Looking so long for the words to be true, but always just breaking apart. My pictures of you. There was nothing in the world that I ever wanted more than to feel you deep in my heart. There was nothing in the world that I ever wanted more than to never feel the breaking apart. My pictures of you.
Love pictures of you.
One of my favorite
So good.
bands. Saw them multiple times in
Same.
college, and that would be The Cure.
Love 80s.
Pictures of you, and
90s.
we all have pictures, and they all evoke emotions and memories, and that's what this song is doing to me right about now.
Love it.
So thank you so much for joining us. And another fabulous episode of Girls Gone Gritty has wrapped up, and we're going to go try on some bathing suits and hope maybe some Spanx could be involved in a few.
And spray tans.
And if you have content ideas, do not be afraid to reach out and give us some suggestions on any of our social media platforms.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
The 3 Gs. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.